been a while since we have done this. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully everything's good. I assume people will show up soon. We're just going to jump into everything because there's a lot to discuss since we haven't really done this in quite a while. I was out of town for a few days. It is what it is. I'm pretty sure I made this public, so hopefully everybody can see this. Let's just jump into it. And if anybody shows up, just let me know you can hear me. YouTube has been doing really weird things with a lot of stuff lately. Very big possibilities. Doesn't even go out to anybody. Tia's there. All right, let's get it. You guys ready for this? Sarah's there. All right, let's get in. Okay, so a lot of stuff has been going on. Number one, I'm not wearing microphones, so if it sounds like I'm yelling at you, it's because I am yelling at you. We haven't talked real politically over here in a like a week, I guess, or two, because I just needed a little bit of a break, right? And there's a lot of stuff that has happened in the last week or so, but the one I'd like to talk about today, if you saw the title of the live stream, has a lot to do with our current vice president, JD Vance, and what a bad mamma jamma this man is. Because listen, he doesn't give a shit, which is why I love him. So I know you guys have all seen this. This will not be new to anybody, but I was scrolling X and I came across this post by this channel called Cat Turd, who lives somewhere, I think probably within like an hour or so of where I live. May have seen the man before and just not even known it. But VP, the Vice President of the United States of America, the right-hand man to President Donald Trump, posted on social media, X specifically, and he said, killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military. For a little backstory there, for those of you who haven't seen the videos that I can't show you, which we'll talk about in just a second, how YouTube literally is trying to erase history, make it so you can't show history, all kinds of stuff. There's the video of when our military, the greatest military on this planet as far as I'm concerned, bombed the shit out of this little canoe carrying these terrorists who were, trafficking drugs, the cartels, right? And weirdly, because the Democrats loathe President Trump so much, suddenly they have a problem with the stopping of drug trafficking and the killing of the people who are trafficking drugs into our country. Technically, they're foreign terrorists who are trying to get into our country, but whatever. That's not the point. The point here is the vice president said that killing cartel members who poison our fellow citizens is the highest and best use of our military. And then, in case you don't know who this is, there's this twat running around named Brian Krasenstein, or however the crap you say his name, who commented afterwards, I think Cat is a woman. No, Cat Turd is a dude. Heather, sorry. Killing the citizens of another nation who are civilians without any due process is called a war crime. To which our vice president, JD Vance, replied, and it's here. I've got visual proof. You guys have seen it too. He replied, I don't give a shit what you call it. That needs to be a t-shirt. That's got to be a t-shirt somewhere already. I will wear that on a daily basis. And all it has to say is, I don't give a shit what you call it, because it goes for so many things right now. People who are losing their minds over the fact that we have President Trump, TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. I don't give a shit what you call it. The fact is, they're idiots, right? The ones who are so up in arms over the fact that our vice president speaks his mind. I don't give a shit. It is what it is. This thing works. Okay, so what I wanted to mention to you are a couple different comments that I have saved here that I thought were absolutely amazing. This one person says, if you're bitching about Trump blowing up Venezuelan narco terrorists, but had nothing to say about Venezuelan gangbangers taking over American cities and flooding our streets with illicit drugs, might I suggest you're a total moron. See, that's how it works. What city was it? Oh, brain, do your job. I don't remember what city it was. Remember the Venezuelan, the Tren de Agua or whatever the crap, were basically terrorizing these apartment complexes? Y'all, I cannot remember the name of the city. Y'all know it. I cannot think of it. There's too much happening in my brain and I can't remember it. But there's videos of them in the hallways, in the stairwells with the guns and everything else. And their mayor was like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not real. It's Aurora. Thank you. That's because it's a hard word for me. It's stuck in my head, but I couldn't get to it. My nose itches. Sorry. They had no problem with it then. They didn't want to talk about how, you know, these illegal immigrants, these the cartel members, these gang members were there wreaking havoc on American citizens. But now they have a problem with these people being dealt with as they should be dealt with. Constitutionally, what we're doing is the correct way to go about this, because they are illegal, right? They're trying to bring in weapons of mass destruction, which is what fentanyl is. It kills so many people. The fentanyl problem is killing more people than like gun violence. But of course, you know, they're going to harp on the gun violence over absolutely anything. But then another comment here that I thought was great. This is from some guy named Reeves Swainston, Esquire, whatever. He says, having prosecuted almost nothing but complex litigation cartel cases during my career, I can confirm this. What the DOJ, the Department of Justice, FBI, DEA, and the rest of us bring to the table, worthy as the effort is, was never enough. It never could be. In 2018 at Bedminster, I spoke informally with members of President Trump's team. I pressed the point that cartels are not just criminal syndicates, they are terrorist organizations and should be treated as such. The response I received made me believe the redesignation as foreign terrorist organizations was coming, but that it would wait for his re-election in 2020, a re-election that never came, you know, because. Now retired, I assure you the singular step, treating cartels for what they are, will have a monumental impact. It gives us tools to hit them on their turf worldwide in ways we've never been able to do before. It also frees prosecutors on the border and across the nation to focus on cases that directly strengthen and protect their communities. This is a very big deal. It should be celebrated, not condemned. Yet the left predictably howls, more concerned with giving American due process rights to those who would slit their throats, traffic their daughters, and gun down their sons, than with protecting American citizen. That posture is not just misguided, it is suicidal. On this issue alone, I thank God for President Trump's re-election, because I know firsthand just how impactful this decision is and will continue to be for Americans, which is now and should always have been our only priority in targeting these vile and violent organizations. Listen, I don't know who this man is, but I agree with every single thing that he had to say here, because the problem is you have too many people on the left and some bleeding hearts on the right and some bleeding hearts in the middle that it's all about, you know, but they're humans. Yeah, but they're shitty fucking pieces of human, right? Like, you have to take those kind of things into consideration. Let's talk about this. This is off topic 100%, and I was going to do this as a whole different video, and I might still do it. But the stabbing in North Carolina on the train by the man, which I'm not going to give him a name, who had been arrested, I don't know, more times than I can count on two hands, and released by a bunch of different judges, even though he was clearly mentally disturbed and homeless. They want to go with unhoused. No, you're homeless. And he stabbed the woman in the neck and killed her on the train. Nobody wants to talk about it. You don't have anybody from the New York Times, Washington Post, whatever other publications. Nobody was talking about it until Axios finally did, and they made a little shit ass title for it that was very just disgusting. We'll talk about it more later. But when Daniel Perry, Daniel P, took down the man in the subway, they dragged him everywhere. Now, the train incident is a black man stabbing a white woman, technically a Ukrainian woman, in the neck, but visually she looked white, so it looked like black on white crime. Nobody on the left wants to talk about it, even though he murdered her. The other one, though, the white man who subdued the black man who was threatening people on a train, they took his ass to court. They dragged him everywhere because it was white on black crime. The left only, for some reason, cares about the crime ratio when it's determined by what skin tone on what skin tone. Absolutely effing ridiculous. It should be person on person, right? Isn't that how it should all go? Yet it doesn't. So then you have everybody now up in arms over the fact that, again, we are bombing these terrorists in open waters who are bringing drugs and whatever else. I have no problem with it, but they have an issue with the fact that the vice president, you know, basically called it what it is, and it's absolutely crazy. So this is Stephen Miller. Let's see. America. Hold on. Wait. Stop. This is a long video, but listen.
Nicolas Maduro is an indicted drug trafficker.
No.
He's indicted in federal court. He's a fugitive from justice in America.
This might be too long.
As I think you're also aware.
Man, that's too long. We'll just read it. So, according to this, Stephen Miller said, for generations, we used our military to engage in action against terrorists in the Middle East and in Africa while leaving unharmed the terrorists in our own hemisphere. And that's what it all comes down to. Because we, for the longest, I mean, we keep sending our men and women to all these other countries to defend them, to help them, to whatever them, and what are we doing here on our own soil? When our president sends in the National Guard to Washington, into Chicago, into LA, into these other places, you have your own citizens here up in arms that we're doing what we need to do to protect our own soil, but have no problem sending their sons and daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, aunts, and uncles to another country to die for some other people that don't have anything to do with our soil. Make that shit make sense, because to me, it does not. And that may not make sense to a lot of other people the way I think about it, but I feel like if you're here, it's because we think of things the same way, right? I personally am thankful. I don't care, how to phrase. If Kamala Harris had been able to do this, if this is what she had run on as a platform, I would have voted for her. I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican. You guys know that. I was Democrat or whatever before, a libtard, I'm reformed, whatever word you want to use here. But if she had had half a brain and had run on the exact same platform that Trump did, and Trump wasn't around, if it was between Kamala and freaking, I don't know, anybody else, and she had run exactly the way Trump ran, I would have voted for her, because it wasn't the person, it was the promises, the direction that the country was going to go. That's what I voted for. I didn't vote for the man. I voted for the direction of the country, right? And thankfully, the person that I voted for, which is President Trump, which is the first time I've ever voted in my entire life, thankfully, the person I have voted for is doing exactly what he said he would do. Are there hiccups along the way? Yes. Nobody's going to be perfect. Y'all know it. There's no point pretending like he's supposed to be the absolute best whatever, right? He's going to make mistakes along the way. He's going to say stupid shit. It's Trump. Like, you remember his first term, he says a lot of stuff, but you realize that the things that he are doing, nope, that's plural. The things that he are, that sounds real stupid though. The things being done by President Trump are literally designed to make this country better for the citizens of this country. I don't give half a rat's ass about if it makes it better for non-citizens. I don't care how that makes me sound. If you are not a legal citizen, I don't give a shit if what is going on is helping you or not. What matters is helping the people who were supposed to be here. I don't care if what we do here is helping another country. I don't care if it's hurting another country. I don't care how that sounds. What matters to me is that my daughter is going to have a better country to live in once, as she gets older. And her kids are going to have a better country to live in as they get older because of the things that are being put into place right now. You cannot sit here and tell me that what the president is doing is harming this country. You have in Washington and in Chicago, although the mayor of Chicago, he's such a dick. Like, there's no redeeming qualities about that man. Even Washington, D.C. has said, oh, okay, well, no, the streets are a lot safer right now. There's a lot things that are being, what's the right word? Helped, made better by what the president is doing. Maybe the National Guard was the right way to go, And then, side note, while everybody was over here looking at Chicago because he was going to send National Guard to Chicago, they went and did ICE raids in Boston because nobody's paying attention to Boston because they're over there looking in Chicago. There's a lot going on, and it's all designed to, say it with me, make America great again. Whatever that great is for you, that's what is being worked on. And I am 100% here for it. This lady, Valentina Gomez, said, absolutely, bomb every cartel and every terrorist we can find. I don't know why they're making it controversial to neutralize bad guys once and for all. And that's exactly what the left is trying to do. They're trying to make it sound like what is being done to secure our borders from not just illegal immigrants, but from the drugs, from everything else, is harmful to us. When it's not, all it really is harmful to their voting base, because out the extra bodies, there go their extra seats when the census is done again. There goes what the money that they would in theory get. There's a lot, right? There's a lot going on. This one here, Desiree, whatever, says there's no reason American troops should be overseas fighting wars we didn't start when we've got a cartel invasion on our own soil. Fentanyl is chemical warfare. This is a war and it's already here. Use our military accordingly. Hello, this one. If ISIS killed 100,000 Americans with poison, we'd level cities. Cartels do the same thing from across our border and politicians shrug. Enough. Treat them like terrorists they are. Hunt them down. End the slaughter, which I 100% agree with also. JD Vance, Vice President JD Vance posted, Democrats, let's send your kids to die in Russia. Republicans, actually, let's protect our people from the scum of the earth. Like I'm saying, everything that's going on right now is designed to make it so that your sons and daughters are safer. Your parents are safer. You are safer. That's all I care about. At the end of the day, I care about the safety of the people I love. And I am here for whatever our president and vice president need to do in order to ensure the safety of the people that I love, whatever that may be. So that's that. Oh yeah, see? This is funny. It's going to be backwards because I'm pretty sure YouTube is still doing me backwards here. For my next trick, I'll make Democrats support the drug cartels, which is exactly what is happening. They are up in arms again over what President Trump is doing, even though, like, it makes absolutely no sense. Wait, hold on. Wait, stop. All right, this is funny to me. Listen to this.
On the Venezuela vessel strike, what legal authority were you guys working under, and will there be an after report on the strike?
Well, I'm sure there's going to be an after report. I mean, the legal authority, and I want to talk about these kids, is that there are people who are bringing literal terrorists who are bringing deadly drugs into our country, and the President of the United States ran on a promise of stopping this poison from coming into our country. Another question?
That's all you have to say. Nothing else needs to be said. He's doing exactly what he promised he would do. So, y'all, that's it. We're doing a short live stream today, and we'll do more later because there's a lot more to talk about. But I have other stuff to do now. First day back from my daughter's birthday vacation, whatever. So clothes to wash, grocery store, all the fun stuff. Thank you guys for being here for this short, random, impromptu little live stream. I appreciate you immensely, and I'll see you guys later, okay? I love y'all. Goodbye. Maybe. There we go.